Yeah, Big Baby JTV. Like, comment, sub, like, comment, sub. I'm going to talk about a topic that I really like, and that is media, specifically sports media. Now, if you're not in the know, by the way, like my video, man. I'm giving y'all fresh content. I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know, now you know that ESPN on Friday last week fired a lot of people. All right. And they're going to fire more people, specifically on-air talent. Jeff Van Gundy, part of the A-team, the broadcasting team with Mike Bream and Mark Jackson. They got rid of, Keyshawn Johnson, part of the, Keyshawn, Jay, and Max show. And speaking of Max, they got rid of Max Kellerman. You know what I mean? One of their highest paid guys there at ESPN. And then they got rid of Jalen Rose, who's kind of surprising because he's been with the company for years, 11 plus years, and they just cut him loose, right? There's also a lot of other people who were cut not only in front of the camera, but behind the camera. And the reasoning is, especially for the major layoffs, is because they want to make space and keep the funding for people in the background, people who are behind the scenes, who are part of the production team. Let me make this perfectly clear. This is the worst time to fire people. This is the worst time to get rid of people. Why? Because, we're on the brink of financial crises, recessions. The economy's trash. The cost of everything is up. Everything. You know what I mean? And salaries are not keeping up with the cost. Inflation up the... You know what I mean? I'm trying to cuss less. But why is this happening? Okay? And why, on the other side, are guys like Pat McAfee getting $85 million deals? I'll help you out. I'll tell you the truth. It's because Disney is having one of its worst few years of all time. It's gotten so bad that they had to bring their old executive out of retirement, specifically Bob Iger. See, Bob Iger, right, he was part of the reason that Disney became a huge powerhouse and kept on gaining a lot of money. If you don't know now, Disney is the owner of ESPN. It's owned by the mouse. Okay? Their previous executive CEO was Rob Chapek. Okay? He tried, he did what he could do, but the biggest factor, I believe, was the pandemic. One of the biggest factors was the pandemic. And another big factor is that Disney has been releasing a whole lot of garbage, whole lot of trash. So people are not inclined to watch Disney movies. People are not inclined, for one, to go to the movies because those are its biggest gains. And for two, they're not inclined, to watch ESPN products. Man, let me tell you some sports products from ESPN. They're losing a ton of money. Okay? There's better quality content out there in terms of the sports media space. If we're just looking at quality programming, I think Fox Sports 1 has better programming than Disney. And I think the fact that Disney, right, has gone very political, which makes ESPN political, right, and it's gone extremely left-leaning. You know what I mean? Even if I would say I'm a center-right type of person. But it alienates half of their potential audience. Disney and ESPN back in the day used to be apolitical. It was about the content quality. Since the quality has gone down, people ain't rocking with ESPN. People ain't rocking with Disney. And that means losses and earnings. It's a money thing. How do I know this? The biggest talents, the people who just got fired by ESPN, are some of their biggest earners. They get the biggest contracts. So, ESPN, Disney, cutting costs, trimming the fat. All right? If you are not at a Stephen A. Smith level of impact, you getting kicked to the curb. Because let me tell you something, man. Stephen A. Smith earns a lot of guap for ESPN. A lot of money. Right? And he is an asset they cannot lose. Right? You have to look at it like this. In the media game, especially if you're a broadcaster, you are an asset or you are a liability. You're either adding more money to the program or you're losing money to the program. And essentially, you have to make yourself an IP, intellectual property, or what you bring an intellectual property in order to get the bag back. So what do I mean by that? Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan Experience is an intellectual property. It's a brand that Spotify was like, we gonna pay you $200+ million for 3 years to have you here. That's how it goes. And unfortunately, Jalen Rose, Max Kellerman, Jeff Van Gundy are not major brands, and they're not guys who move the needle enough for ESPN to keep them. And that's what's gonna happen to a lot of other guys. But let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Big JTV, I'm out.